Hello everyone, Palmerston yet again. Good morning. The wars continue. Pakistan, Afghanistan skirmish or war, whatever you would want to call it, as continues. As does the Iran war, which of course continues to worry the entire world. Um, I wanted to talk about a particular prediction line that I had published on 1st of March on my website astroweatherwatch.substack.com, where besides earthquakes and weather, I also predict areas where incidents, violent incidents, accidents, airstrikes, such things can happen. So this one is, I can show you this particular line which I am talking. Uh, this particular line was published. I only published the northern section, given whatever is happening in Pakistan, Afghanistan. So the border area, and especially a lot of things are happening here. Pakistan, this is Pakistan, and for those of you who don't know where Afghanistan is, that's Afghanistan. So a lot of and the war is going on between the two since quite few days. Um there have been airstrikes and such things going on, bombings. So I published only the northern section of this line, as the I showed the map that is of the northern section of this line. But given that this line, which goes by the western coast of India and then further into the Lakshadweep Sea, the Lakshadweep Sea, so I just mentioned it in the textual form without showing the map, that the line goes by the western coast of India, and it continues to be concerning even in that section. And actually, it is this section, the below section, sorry, so which is the more concerning part of this line actually. So this particular line, the period is 1st to 13th of March, along near which, and usually the range is around 250 kilometers. Sometimes it can extend up to 300 kilometers for things like accidents or malefic incidents. For earthquakes, usually the range is within 200 250 kilometer. Um, so around this line, let's say 250-kilometer on both sides, um, major accidents or major malefic incidents could occur during 1st to 13th of March. This is what I published on my website astroweatherwatch.substack.com. You can go to the website and look at the northern end of this line, and you will also find the text like Western India coastline. If you search for Western India, then you will find this line. And this was published on 1st of March. So of course, since then some more incidents have happened on Pakistan Afghanistan border area. There are too many incidents happening there, so forget about them currently, even though they are of course as significant in themselves as anything else, but they're just too many to record. But what a very notable incident happened, and this morning, on the morning of the 4th of March, early morning, between this line and Sri Lanka. Yeah, so this is Colombo, and off Colombo, just outside the territorial waters of Sri Lanka. So somewhere here, I don't know as yet the exact coordinates of the incident, but an Iranian destroyer, an Iranian frigate, was attacked probably by a submarine, and more than 100 people are presumed to be killed. Around 32 were rescued by the Sri Lankan authorities, and some are still missing. So that's a major incident. It suddenly extends the Iranian war, if it is indeed a submarine attack on the frigate, which it most likely is, because the frigate just blew up into flames. Um, so then it extends the war into the Indian waters. Between the line and Sri Lanka, this incident it has happened. It is within the prediction range of the line. And why I wanted to talk to you about this line is that it worries me. I hear that India has had a long-standing agreement with the US to provide logistical support to US ships, US vessels, if in case they need that. So, of course, India, I assume, is not allowing any of the Indian ports or coastline for any combat operations. Probably anyway, the ports lack such capability. But I think some of the logistical, it is India is catering to some of the logistical needs of the US vessels. um, but I hope that the Indian government is clear that it does not allow any combat ships of the US to replenish fuel or anything for any needs to come to the Indian ports, to visit the Indian ports, and to use that. Because if you are allowing the US combat ships to come here, and because US bases currently are under attack in West Asia, which is there, so they are of course scouring for nearby places where they can get some support, get some fuel, and all these things. So I hope India is quite clear about that, because this line passes along the Indian coastline, and this particular section, yeah, and one of the incidents has already happened in this section, but this particular section you can say, like from Gujarat to Sri Lanka, this section of the line uh, it looks very malefic on the charts. So I hope that Indian government knows to take a stand to, and in its and it is not so eager to please Israel and the US, that it allows India to be dragged into a war which has nothing to do with India. India should not be dragged into this war. India has nothing to do with this war. India should stay away from it. India and Indians should stay away from it. So I hope that but if a combat ship visits the region, starts replenishing here, and this becomes a pattern, then of course, then this becomes a legitimate target in the eyes of Iran and supporters of Iran. So I hope this does not happen. This line worries me, so that's why I wanted to put out a video here. I hope that nothing like this happens, and probably the line is limited to just one incident in this region, and of course there are incidents happening here in up north in Pakistan, Afghanistan, but this is the main, as I said, Gujarat to Sri Lanka section of the line is looks really malefic, and one really malefic incident now has happened with probably more than 100 people killed. That in terms of humanity, it's human loss itself, it's a big incident. So I hope no more incidents happen, and Indian government is wise and stays and knows to stay away from the conflict, and says a decisive no whenever it is needed, regardless of the pressure which the US may apply. But in this case, it should be a non-negotiable. India should not become a party to a war which it has nothing to. There is no need at all, and there is no need. There is no imperative. There is no role of India to play in this war. So it cannot be dragged into this war. By this war, I mean, of course, the Iran war. So this is what I wanted to say. Stay safe, everyone, and keep looking at whatever is happening in your neighborhood if you are in some of those areas, and stay safe. Bye bye.